Hello everyone, I'm happy to present to you Maclaren Macomb Hospital. This hospital is a non-profit 288-bed acute care facility located in Mount Clemens, Michigan. This organization specializes in cardiac and orthopedic surgery, has a team of neurospecialists available at all times, and their emergency department is one of the busiest trauma centers in Macomb Township. For this presentation, my team and I discovered the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats this organization faces, the political, environmental, social, and technological challenges, and performed an overall performance measurement utilizing a balanced scorecard.
Hi, my name is Amy McMillan. In order to fully analyze Maclaren Macomb as a whole, I have conducted a SWOT analysis that I'd like to present to you today. For those of you who are not familiar, SWOT is an acronym that stands for Strengths, Weaknesses, Opportunities, and Threats. I will begin by discussing the strengths. Maclaren Macomb offers numerous inviting features, including ratings surpassing expectations within 3 safety indicators. These safety indicators include a minimal number of pressure and bed sores on patients during their hospital stay, a minimal number of catheter-related bloodstream infections, and a minimal number of deep blood clots. An area that Maclaren Macomb prides themselves on is their positive patient ratings, many of the ratings surrounding the comfortable atmosphere and friendliness of the staff. Some of the ratings included: nurses usually take time to communicate well, and doctors usually communicate well with patients. Patients can have a feeling of comfort when walking into Maclaren Macomb, knowing the hospital was awarded America's 100 Best Hospitals in 2015 and awarded Distinguished Hospitals for Clinical Excellence in both 2014 and 15. As a result of in-house training, the hospital can provide a strong area of focus within many departments, including cardiology, oncology, orthopedics, and neuroscience. As with any facility, Maclaren Macomb also faces their own weaknesses. With a rating of worse than expected in 3 safety indicators, there are some areas that could still use some focus. These included an increased rate of post-surgery hip fractures, respiratory failure following surgery, and a high amount of cuts, punctures, perforations, or hemorrhages during any sort of medical care being provided. With these ratings in mind comes along negative patient ratings. These ratings including a delayed response time and an untidy facility. This delayed response time includes a 2-hour and 29-minute wait to be admitted for serious cases, an additional 2-hour and 19-minute wait before being taken to the room. A cause of these ratings is due to the lack of employee involvement and motivation. The lack of motivation within the employees is shown through their performance and affects the care that is given to the patients. There are many opportunities presented through Maclaren Macomb. First and foremost, as baby boomers begin to age, there is an increasing need for medical care. With this increase in care, there is a need to increase capacity in order to accommodate those potential patients. In order to care for this increasing amount of patients, there are 100 medical students training at any given time with in-house trauma surgeons 24 hours a day. All members of this trauma department have met the standards set by the American College of Surgeons. Maclaren Macomb features a doctor's office on wheels, known as the MCG Medical Outreach Clinic, or MOC. MOC provides tools that an average doctor's office would provide, including 2 exam rooms, a reception and charting area, and a counseling area. Maclaren Macomb Family Practice Resident Training Program also uses the MOC as a training site. Maclaren Macomb also takes into account patients who speak foreign languages. Within the MOC, 2 Catholic churches provide bilingual volunteers to help aid in language barriers among patients and physicians. There are threats that Maclaren Macomb must be aware of. There is currently a shortage of physicians and nurses, which results in less than satisfactory care for the patients. Only 63% of patients claim that they would recommend this hospital. Another reason for this low rating may be due to the limitations within the facility. Maclaren Macomb is unable to provide all the areas of focus. Patients are then forced to seek care at other facilities within the area. With the ever-changing technology surrounding medical care, more capita is required than the hospital can generate.
Hello, my name is Erica Pache, and today I'm going to be talking about the balanced scorecard system. The organization that we chose to research was Maclaren of Macomb. Maclaren of Macomb uses this balanced scorecard system. The balanced scorecard system can be broken down into 5 key components. It starts with the core of vision and strategy, and then it follows by financial, internal process, learning and growth, and the customer. Maclaren and Macomb, like many organizations, has a vision, mission statement, and strategy. Their strategy follows as Maclaren Macomb is to be the hospital of choice in the community that they serve. And with Maclaren Healthcare and through its subsidiaries, it wishes to be the best value in healthcare as defined by quality outcomes and cost. Basically, what this means is that Maclaren and Macomb wants to make sure that the patient has quality care so that they can heal faster and feel better quicker. They also want to make sure that it is cost efficient, that this takes away any financial burden on the patient. They want to make sure that the patient isn't worried about the cost, and they want to make sure that the patient feels better and they get the best quality care. On the following slides, we are going to discuss the other key components of financial, internal process, learning and growth, and customers. Hello again. As we just discussed the vision and strategy, we will now move forward to the second key component of financial. Maclaren of Macomb financially believes that they want to help ensure quality care by lessening the burden of cost of care to the patient by offering assistance. What this basically means is that Maclaren and Macomb, with keeping their values in mind, want to help the health and well-being and gain the trust of the community by offering assistance to patients who qualify. Financially, Maclaren and Macomb, they really want to help out patients. Like we stated below in the vision, they want to make sure that there's quality care. They want to make sure that the cost is cost efficient. By doing this, they don't want to send their patients outwards to receive procedures. They rather have them stay in their facility and offer them better cost and a better care. Financially, they have helped the community by offering $16 million back to try to improve it. They really want to gain that trust financially that patients can come and receive health care and not be scared that it's going to cost them tons of money. But they want to ensure that it's somewhere that's safe where they can receive care and that it's not going to hurt them or burden them cost-wise, so they can continue to become better. Hello again. As we just discussed in the past slide, the financial part of Maclaren Macomb, we will now move on to our new slide of the internal process. We can kind of see this reoccurring theme going on throughout Maclaren Macomb. Their internal process system that they have in place is to ensure safety, provide quality care, offer great services, look for room for growth, and how to help financially. So we can kind of see this reoccurrence is that they want to ensure quality care. They want the patient to get better. They want to offer great service. Right now they're struggling in this, but that is one of their key places where they want to grow and want to change their internal process is how to provide a better service for the patient. And that's something that they really want to focus on and how to improve and how they can grow from that. They also want to look for room for growth as they want to expand their hospital. They want to offer a more intake of patients. They want to offer more employees. They want to offer more services, and they want to have more educational programs come in. And then the last thing is the financial. They really want to ensure and keep that trust that financially that it's not going to be a burden on the patient and that the finance, that they're going to help them through everything. They're going to offer assistance. They're going to offer programs to make sure that they can pay for their care and so that they can receive that quality care in the end. As we discuss this, we will now move on to our next slide. As we just discussed the internal process, we will now move forward on to learning and growth. Learning and growth is the third key component of the Balance Scorecard. And just like learning and growth, Maclaren of Macomb has this vision that they want to continue to grow and improve the perception of Maclaren Macomb. They want to make sure that they continue to grow, that they have a better image for their patients. Like we were stating before in the internal process, they want to grow into systems where they don't have to send their patients outpatient for procedures or rehab facilities to get better. They want to grow in this process by offering these types of services to their patients in the hospital. They believe in doing this that the patient will become better sooner. By sending them out to other places, it might burden their care. And with them just staying in one facility, receiving the care from beginning to start without having to transfer locations, they believe this is a really big opportunity for them to grow. they're wishing to add on a rehab facility. They want to continue to grow in their ortho departments. And this is one part they really want to grow on, is offering better care to the patient. They were wanting to grow their hospital, and they want to improve their care. And this is something that they believe that they can really grow on and learn from their past mistakes. And with that being said, we will now move on to the next and final slide. As we just discussed the learning and growth opportunities for Maclaren and Macomb, we will now move on to our last and final slide of the customer. The customer is the patient for Maclaren Macomb. And by doing this, Maclaren of Macomb wants to ensure evidence-based patient care that is quality, and they want to secure cost-efficient care. Basically, what this means is that it's tying in all the other key components that we talked about, that they want to make sure that the patient has quality care, that they're comfortable during their stay, they want to continue their growth, they want to learn and grow from what their mistakes were, and they want to become better for the patient. They want to offer better patient times, better care, inpatient facility care, and they want to make sure that the patient isn't worried about the financial burden of healthcare. They want to make sure that the patient focuses on getting better, receiving that quality care, and they don't have to worry about how they're going to pay for their hospital stay or their surgeries. This is why they offer so many services financially on how to make the patient better. As we tie all these together, we can see that Maclaren and Macomb really wants to grow, and they really want to become a better organization for their area and their community that they serve.
Hello, my name is Sasha Barnett, and I'm going to discuss the pest analysis of Maclaren Macomb. This includes the political, economic, social cultural, and technological opportunities and threats the organization faces. A political opportunity for Maclaren Macomb involves the expansion of the Affordable Care Act. With this, Medicare and Medicaid provides health insurance to those who can't afford care. This leads to the organization having more opportunities to treat more patients due to an increase in the request for care. Another thing that impacts this is the aging baby boomers generation, which also leads to the same thing, which is an increase in requests for care. A political threat would include the new Medicare rules, which strictly want to quantify the measures of patient satisfaction and engagement. And based off that, the organization would be graded, and that grade would determine how much they are reimbursed. So if they don't excel, then they don't get enough funding. Another threat would include the government trying to eliminate waste by bundling payments. When this happens, it leads to a fight over who receives the profit. An economic opportunity involves the CMS, or the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, and what they do is fund both of those programs. And as of now, they're updating their reimbursement policies for 2016, leading to boost value-based activities. And from that, the organization could possibly gain more funding, and that funding can be used for whatever services they need, and also it could help with benefiting the community. An economic threat would be the lack of capital. Right now, Maclaren Macomb has a budget of just $8.5 million this year alone. They've also been strong in being a low-cost provider, but there's constantly changes in the market, which means that if they want to advance to the next level, they're going to have to work with other hospitals, because right now they're working independently. Another threat involves Medicare funding, which remains to be a big issue, not only in Maclaren Macomb, but in many other hospitals as well. And that's because Medicare is one of the biggest players on the field. And in the past, some healthcare organizations were able to benefit from Medicare by earning slim profits, but as of now, they are diminishing and they continue to fall. A social cultural opportunity for Maclaren Macomb involves changing the front door of the emergency department. As of now, it's been said that the front door of the emergency department gives off a negative image for the organization. So changing it to a more warm, open, welcoming facade would help with that situation. Its previous name, Mount Clemens General, leaves a torn community with the people because some of them love the hospital brand and while others hated it. So as of now, it threatens Maclaren Macomb because they're trying to respect and shake the legacy of Mount Clemens General. Another thing, another threat would involve employee morale because the hospital is trying to transition and renew the culture of the organization. But there are still a few employees who are not on board and they do not aspire to excellence. So they're trying to work through that to improve the culture overall and have everybody on board to move towards where they want to be in the future. A technological opportunity for Maclaren Macomb involves the CDRC, which is the clinically driven revenue cycle. And what it does is it uses people, processes, and technology to capture charges as a result of clinical documentation. It's a method where technology is used to make revenue cycle a byproduct of clinical activity. The CDRC puts the ownership of accounts receivable on everyone in the organization, whether they are providing care, documenting, or collecting payments. It allows them to be more efficient and focuses on exception versus having to touch every single account. Using this system or using this model allows them to invest in their facilities and their clinicians, provide more charity, and ultimately provide better care to their patients. Another opportunity involves the use of a new InTouch telemedicine system. And what happens is staff at any of their facilities statewide can remotely tap into the expertise of these stroke super specialists within minutes. The InTouch technology even allows for a robotic surgery capability. A technological threat that Maclaren Macomb faces includes the fact that technology is ever changing and there's always going to be new innovations. Because of this calls for more capital, and as of now, Maclaren Macomb is on a very limited budget.
Hey everybody, Kyle Bourne here, talking about challenges within our group. Now, I think overall with our presentation, we did a pretty good job, establishing our paper and doing our poster and all that, but I'm not going to bore you with that stuff, okay? Now, our number one challenge that we faced, we thought, was time management. Putting in the hours, dealing with the class time, the location. We had 15 classes, 16 classes, but we never really did anything actually inside of class. So I thought it was tough with people living so far away, having jobs, having kids, having other homework quizzes, that it was really tough to do this. So number one challenge we thought was time management. Another challenge was organization. Now, everybody had their role and responsibilities, which I thought was pretty good. Everybody did their job. But making sure people is on the same page, they know what they're doing, they know when they're doing it, when it's due, that's extremely tough. Another thing was, I repeat myself, knowing the role. Now, when you think about it, in an organization, if you don't know your role, how do you know what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it? That was another big issue we thought with our challenges. And our third challenge was just overall motivation to want to actually do this project. I know that might sound odd, but it's tough, especially when you're a senior and you want to be done with school, but you have to want to relate to the organization and you want to adapt and you want to understand, why am I actually doing this? What is going on? How does this reflect me? Is this important to me? Do I really care? And some of us probably sit here and say, no, I don't care, whatever, it's no big deal. But that was the biggest thing, I thought, and I think everybody did a good job. We motivated each other, made sure everybody was on the same page, made sure everybody, if they had any questions, They talked to us. We have a group text message. We sent import files through the discussion board, made sure that everything was right in and on the right time, and if anybody needed any help, that they could get it. So, with that being said, we also, with our challenges, had opportunities. We learned a lot about each other. We learned that establishing a leader is one of the most important key aspects first, because you got to know how to work with each other. You got to have one person in charge, followed by individual workers to work together to make sure that this project gets done. And I think the biggest thing that we got out of this, opportunities-wise, was without a clear path and plan, it's pretty much impossible to get your project done. And I think that that was one of the biggest issues that we had. So with that being said, our challenges of time management, organization, and overall motivation, I think that this led to a lot of opportunities that we could learn about it, not only ourselves, but others, and this could be an influence in the future on how we adapt as leaders in the healthcare industry and how we can take this project now and use it towards our leadership roles and make sure that everybody's on the same page, everybody knows their roles and responsibilities and what they are doing. Thank you for your time.
In conclusion, you can see that Maclaren Macomb is an ever-growing organization with the goals and aspirations to fulfill the needs of not only their patients, but their employees, doctors, and suppliers as one of the best hospitals, not just in the state of Michigan, but in the country, and will continue to pursue the needs of improvement to accomplish this goal. With a plan and goal in place, anything is possible, and I think we can all agree Maclaren Macomb is a place we can trust and a hospital we can rely on that will only become better and stronger with time.